Hi, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. We are doing my week 3 Halloween-a-thon wrap-up. I only actually got to read 2 books because I just had a lot going on, but they were both really good books, so that's okay. We're gonna be talking about all the things I watched a bunch of old Halloween episodes, different TV shows, got to go to a corn maze, made some good fall recipes, did reading sprints. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about all that. But first, here's a clip of what I got up to. Let's start with let's talk about the corn maze because I had a lot of fun with that. It's actually about 3 hours and 20 minutes from where I live. It's in Marshall, Oklahoma. It's called Days of Maze, I believe is what it's called. Days of Maze. D-A-Z-E of Maze. And it's in the middle of freaking nowhere. But it's perfect for me because I won't go to places that are overly crowded or that you have to wait in these stupid lines because they stress me out. I can't do them. And I will miss out on the whole experience to avoid a crowd. It sounds ridiculous, but I can't do it. So for me to go, I will go way out of my way to go to a place like this because it's just, it's so spread out. There's not a line. It's not overly crowded. It's just really relaxed and cozy. Everybody there is really nice. It's family owned. It's like $10 a person. So yeah, And there's several different levels, and I don't remember how many acres it is, but it's huge. There's a little hay bale maze, and that one we like the kids like to go and lead in that one. They could just run wild. We don't have to worry about them getting lost in that one. Then there's one that's like the jungle maze, and it's like more wild, and there aren't any dead ends in that one. It's just more wild and kind of, I say overgrown, but it's just more wild, and you have to take a hayride to get to it. So that one's fun. And then the other one, it's a little closer, so you don't have to take a hayride to get to it, but there are dead ends. It's a little cleaner cut, but there are dead ends in it, and there are three different flag levels to get to, which we always look for the black because it's the most challenging. And there's also a lookout in the middle where you can walk up the steps and you can see all around. And that one's a lot of fun. But we like to go in the evening, like around 5 or 6 p.m. because they're open until 10. So we'll go through it during the daylight, and then we'll wait till the sun goes down and we'll go through it with flashlights. This year, we went through it with flashlights for a little bit, but then the moon was really bright. So we let the moon guide us a little bit, and that was a whole different experience, and it was really fun. But we really enjoyed it, had a really good time. There was a group of people there. They were a lot of fun, but they wore like all black, and they had glow sticks and then glow masks, and they had been there last year as well. But they had obviously been drinking, which is fine. They were having fun. But they said last year they had to be rescued because I guess they had been drinking last year too, is my assumption. And they were back in the jungle maze, and they had to be rescued because after hours, the people that owned the place realized that they had people that weren't accounted for and that were, I guess, lost. So they had to go rescue them. It was really funny. They were a fun group. It was a really good experience. I really liked going through it at night best, especially with the moon bright like that. It was really cool. They also have a petting zoo, but the petting zoo closes at dark. You can't go after dark, the petting zoos. You have to get there in the daylight for that. But they have goats and ponies and like a couple calves. The goats are really greedy, and they're really pushy. They'll push each other out of the way. And I didn't get any video of that because my hands were full of food. But we were just trying to make sure they all got some and nobody was being too greedy. Yeah, they were so pushy. And then the calf, he had enough of the goat's crap, so he was pushing everybody out of the way, like, no, it's my turn. So that was funny. You can't really pet them. Like, we would try to pet them, and they're like, no, I just want your food. Because I'm an animal person. I want to pet everything. And then the ponies, one of the ponies was big, huge, pregnant. And she was very, very sassy. And she would stomp her feet and get really, really pushy and sassy, like wanting more food. She was really cute. But that was fun. I made a couple different fall recipes. I say recipes. One of them was a recipe, and it was pumpkin chicken chili, one of my favorites. It's one of those things you're either going to love it or you're going to think it's weird. Because it has salty, and then it has a little bit of spice, and it has a hint of sweet. Because it does have pumpkin, it has brown sugar in it, and it has cinnamon. So it's a little different, but I love it. Most of my family loves it. My son loves it, and my husband loves it. My daughter is still like, she says she likes it, but she never eats a lot, so I don't think she really does. And you can put whatever toppings you want on there. You can put cilantro, you can put jalapenos. I personally love shredded cheese and sour cream on mine. It's one of those that I make in the Instant Pot because I cook every night. I cook a lot of things in the Instant Pot because it's so easy. And it's just one of those things that's really quick, and when you're cooking every night, you can just put everything in there and let it go. Really good. And you don't have to cut the chicken up beforehand. You could just put the chicken boobs on top, chicken breast. You put the chicken breast on top, and then at the end, you just take them out, and then you can just shred them and put them back. So it's super easy. No, it's not fussy at all. But anyways, I'll put the link to the recipe down below. It's not my recipe. I have nothing to do with it, but just that I love it. But I'll put the link down below in case anybody wants to try it. I'm sure if you don't have an Instant Pot, maybe you could like make it in a pan and just change up the timings or something. Maybe there's instructions in there for that. I have no idea. But it is an Instant Pot recipe though. Delicious. And then I found some fall-shaped pasta at Aldi, and I made chicken alfredo with it. That was pretty good. The noodles they had a different taste than normal noodles, but they were still pretty good. So I did that. I was able to get on one reading sprint, but Kat with Kat's Novel Adventures, I was able to get on her reading sprint for Halloween-a-thon. I haven't been able to get on as many reading sprints this time as I wanted to, just because I've had so much going on, I've had events and appointments and, you know, homeschool. Like, the kids have been trying me this time for whatever reason. Yeah, I've just been really busy, but I was able to stay on for 3 hours that time, which was really fun. She does Mad Libs and questions and all this fun stuff, so it was really fun. I was able to watch several different, like, older TV episodes, different shows. So I have this DVD, TV Guide, TV Spookiest Halloween Episodes. I didn't watch all of them. So the ones I watched were Bewitched, Married with Children, I Dream of Jeannie, That 70s Show, Facts of Life, The Jeffersons. Jeffersons was a 2-part episode. Third Rock from the Sun, Square Pegs. I hadn't heard of that one until I got this, but I actually really enjoyed it. And that's all I watched on this one. They were all really fun and nostalgic. Yeah, Square Pegs is one of those I had never heard of until I got this, but now I want to find more and see if they're all that fun, because it was really fun. And the Jeffersons, that's one that I enjoyed all of these, but that's one that I hadn't seen in a long time. So those were really fun. And then I have Roseanne Tricks and Treats, like all the Halloween episodes, because Roseanne has the best Halloween episodes. So I really had a good time with that. One that I wish they had Halloween episodes of, a DVD, is Home Improvement, because I feel like they had really good Halloween episodes. So if anybody knows of a DVD of that, let me know, because I would love to have it. Otherwise, I've been working on a diamond painting. So this pumpkin, can you see where I am? So the sparkle goes like all the way up here. And this glow, I did the eyes and the mouth and the nose. So all this bright is going to glow in the dark. And when I'm finished with it, I'll show you how it glows, but I should be done with this next week. And then I'm hoping to start on my paint by number. And if I'm not done with the paint by number by the end of October, then it's fine if it goes into November, because it's not just Halloween, it's Clown in a Cornfield. So that one's okay if it goes a little bit into November, because I think it's okay anytime in the fall. Now, the books. I only read 2 books, but they were both really good, so it's fine. We have So Thirsty by Rachel Harrison. This one I got from Aardvark Book Box. I bought a box for September, and it's signed, so I was really excited about that. So this one follows Sloane and Naomi. Sloane is turning 36 years old, and for her birthday, her husband books her a weekend getaway at this, like, cabin at this resort. And it's really snowy. It's a really snowy resort. And he puts this trip together for her and her best friend Naomi. And Naomi is definitely the more carefree, free spirit, wilder one of the two. She's dating this pop star and she travels all over the place. Naomi has this more glamorous lifestyle, and she's just, you know, carefree, and she grew up rich as well. So they come from 2 different worlds, but they're best friends. They've been best friends for a very long time, like since they were in school. Sloane is more, you know, she plans things out more, and she's more set in her ways, and she has routine, and she you know, she's more careful. She's more cautious. So the 2 are complete opposites, but they're best friends, and it works for them. Sloane is also dealing with this thing because her husband has been unfaithful. He's cheated on her several times, and she's dealing with that as well. But the girls are going to be going on this, they're on this weekend getaway, and they go to this bar, and Naomi meets this handsome stranger, and he invites the girls to this party. with all these other mysterious strangers. And so the girls go to this party with all these mysterious strangers, this eclectic friend group, and things go awry. And when things go awry, it changes their lives forever. So yeah, take from that what you will. That's all I'll say, but you could probably guess. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that. The rest of the book is them coming to terms with what their life is going to be now. They're coming to terms with how their lives have changed and what it means for them. And this was just really fun. I love Rachel Harrison's writing style. I thought it was very playful and fun. And I love Sloane and Naomi's friendship and how this definitely tested their friendship. And I love how they have spats like they're sisters almost, and how they, you know, just how they navigated everything. The character development, I love the character development. I also love Sloane's transformation through this, like how she changed throughout the book. Like her character, how she changed throughout the book. Obviously, female friendship was definitely a huge theme in this, as was found family and this eclectic friend group. I could not get enough of the characters. I could not get enough of Sloane and Naomi, and I didn't want it to end, honestly. Well, also there was a obviously there's also a love interest, but definitely wasn't a focus, and I didn't think it had that much chemistry, because the focus was definitely more on Sloane and Naomi and their friendship. There were parts of it that made me laugh. There was a little bit of spice. This was just all in all just really fun. Ended up being a 4-star for me. I feel like it could have been. My only complaint was that, like, the ending. I wanted more from the ending. Like, it felt kind of abrupt. Just felt like I just needed more from the ending. It was just kind of abrupt. And I really desperately need a part 2. I just couldn't get enough. I wanted it to go on forever. So I guess that's a good thing. It tells you that I liked it, I enjoyed it, and I just didn't want it to end. So I really enjoyed it. So fun. And I'm addicted to Rachel Harrison's writing style. Next thing I read was, and I mentioned this in my book haul on Tuesday. If you missed it, I will link it down below. And that is Interview with the Devil by Michael Harbron. This one was sent to me by Scrubs Mag over on Instagram. They're a magazine that caters to medical professionals. It's interesting, but they asked me to review this because they have a book club within their magazine, and so they sent me this. It's a trilogy, so they sent me the whole trilogy. And this one, so first of all, this was 5 stars, easy. I am obsessed. I'm obsessed with his writing style. I'm obsessed with this story already. I'm immediately going to start book 2 because it leads right into book 2. Like it set it up perfectly for book 2. Let me explain what this is about. This follows Joseph Banbury. It starts off when Joseph is a kid. His parents are very, very religious, and religion is almost shoved down his throat, you know what I mean? And he and his sister one day, like it starts off, he and his sister, their parents are late from getting groceries, which is very abnormal for them because they always have dinner at a certain time. And he and his sister go down to the basement to look for them because his mom goes down there to pray sometimes. And while they're down there, they come across a demon, some type of demon, and it terrifies them, obviously. And you know, when they run up the stairs and everything, their parents are there, and their parents have just come home. And anyways, it like sets it up for, you know, the rest of the book. And his sister didn't see it, he did, and it sets up his whole childhood is that way, like with these demons and all this stuff. And it's very creepy. Like the beginning starts off really creepy, and like goosebumps creepy. The way it's written is just, oh, it's so terrifying. trying to figure out what I can say. I don't want to give anything away, and I'm not sure. I want to make sure I don't give any spoilers. It really sets everything up for, because Joseph has this, because of his upbringing and because of all that he faced in childhood and because of the religious trauma and all of that, he develops this sort of negativity and cynicism toward religion. And at the same time, he really grew a love for writing, and he developed a love for literature and writing throughout his childhood as well. Well, the two come together, and he becomes a writer in adulthood. And that's all I'll say about that part of it. But anyways, so I will tell you that Joseph is a writer, and he deals with his demons throughout the whole book. And I will say that it's a slow burn, and I think that's necessary in this case. I don't always think that about slow reads. Sometimes I criticize those, but in this case I think it's necessary because it couldn't be rushed. You're getting to know, this is setting the groundwork for the entire trilogy, and you're getting to know Joseph, you're getting to know other characters, you're getting to know the reason he is the way he is, and you're getting to know everything leading up to the big event, which is the interview with the devil. So, and it doesn't happen until much later in the book. So it takes a little bit to get to that, but I'm telling you, it's worth it because the devil is fascinating. He's absolutely fascinating, and I couldn't get enough of that. I was already roped into the book throughout the whole thing, and there's plenty of creepy parts, and there's some gore too, and I was already fascinated and I was already transfixed anyways. But then when the devil finally showed up and the interview finally happened, I was like really into it. So I'm hooked. I'm into it. I love Michael Harbron's writing style, and I'm really into the characters. This is definitely more character focused. Book one is definitely more character driven than plot driven. But like I said, it's just laying the groundwork for the rest of the trilogy, and it's worth the wait. I can tell you that. It's really good. Yeah, and I'm definitely going to be starting book 2 pretty much immediately because I can't wait. So I'm really glad they sent me the whole trilogy and didn't just send me one and leave me hanging, because I would have been really bummed. But yeah, I'm really into it. That's all I could really say without giving anything away, but it's just, it's really good, and I'm fascinated. Yeah, that's everything that I did on week 3. I can tell you that next week you're getting 2 videos again. You're getting Tuesday, my September reading wrap up finally. Took me long enough, I know, but you're finally getting it. So that's one. And then next Friday you're getting my week 4 of Halloween-a-thon. I've actually got several events happening in that video. I have a fall festival. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get actual footage of that, just because I am very careful about getting people like without their permission in videos. And I'm sure there are going to be kids there too, and I definitely don't do that. And then I have a book release party that I was invited to in Oklahoma City for Moonlit Massacre by James Cooper. If you guys remember, I did a review on that, and I believe it was I don't remember if it was week 1 or week 2. Oh, geez, I don't remember. But anyways, one or the other. I don't know him personally, but he invited me to that, and he had sent me the digital, but I think it'd be really cool to buy an official copy and have him sign it and get to meet him. Because I did really love that book. I really enjoyed it, and it was really close to a 5-star, but I really enjoyed that book. So that will be in next week's video. And then also I have a macabre masquerade night that I'm going to, that I'm really excited about. And I have an outfit in mind for that, because I had I don't even know if you guys care about this, but it's either costume or dress. It's dressed to impress anyways, but it's also costume. You can either do a costume or you can do masquerade, either way, or both, whatever. But it's dressed to impress. So I happen to have something in my closet that works because I was trying to figure out how to not spend money, because I really shouldn't be doing that right now. But anyways, I had an old boss, my last place that I worked. She happened to be 4'11", just like me. That's where the little comes from in Spooky Little Book Nerd, because I'm only 4'11". And whenever I worked with her, she one day was like, "Hey, what size are you?" And I told her, and she had a bunch of clothes, and she just gave them to me. And some of them were my size then, some of them were too big, and some were too small. She gave me stuff on both sides of where I was at. So I've lost like 40 pounds since then, 35, 40 pounds since then. And this dress was too small then. Anyways, so whenever I was getting ready for the Macabre Masquerade night, I was like trying to figure out how to not spend money, and a light bulb went off, and I'm like, oh, I think I have dresses that might work now that I couldn't wear then. So I started trying on dresses, and this one dress, I came out of my room, and my kids and my husband, but all three were like, oh. So my kids especially were like, wow. So I'm like, well, this is obviously the dress. So anyways, it's red. So I'm gonna be wearing red. And then I did buy a mask. I bought it's red and black, and it has feathers. And then my husband, he's gonna be wearing black, and then he'll wear a black and red mask as well, so that we'll both kind of match. So that's what I'm gonna be wearing. So I have a lot. Hopefully I'll get to read more, but I have so much stuff going on, we'll see. But anyways, hopefully I have more books to talk about in the next video. No promises, because I do have a lot going on, but we'll see. Anyhow, I will see you on next Tuesday. Bye for now.